title. Mark Hurd, on the other hand, he's got a couple of these NCRA titles. He's also got a Hutchinson national title here and there. Dan Powers, inside row number 2, looking for his first. Dustin Belcher, the 22, a rookie in the modifieds. Tyler Davis, the 65. John Thompson, out of Superior, Nebraska, the 75. Formerly Mr. IMCA all over the place. Now racing with the NCRA Series, and we're happy to have him. Brian Franz, he's your defending Hutchinson National Champion in the number 86 out of Halstead. He's also a 5-time NCRA Modified Series champion. Ryan McInich in the number 52. He's won the Hutchinson Nationals a couple of times in the late model division, but here he is in the modifieds tonight. So the field will make its way down the front straightaway one more time right after this one we wrap up. The 56th Annual Hutchinson Nationals with the Thunder and Lightning. The 20-lap grand finale in the sprint car division under the NCRA banner. Final time down the front straightaway with the base truck in front of him. We'll turn him loose next time. The field is on its own. Hang on loosely, but don't let go. Oh, they're going to be here at the Kansas State Fair. Into turn number 3. Your NCRA Modifieds. Picking it up. It is showtime! Turn number 2, because Powers on the left, and he's up in a second. It's going to be Tanner Mullins, Dan Powers, and Mark Hurd off a 4-lap one. Out of Wichita in the 0-2. Dan Powers, the number 4. Hurd. outside into turn number 3. Hurd now challenging back with Franz. Mullins into turn 1. Powers, Makinich, Franz, and Hurd. Caution out for the 65. It looks like Tyler Davis out of Hayesville up there on the top side of turn number 2. Eight laps into the books of 20. Well, that lead that Tanner Mullins had in the 02 right now neglected as the number 4. Dan Powers, 52 is Makinich, the 86 is Franz. Franz, your defending Hutchinson national champion on the outside of that front, or that second row. They start to pick it up through turn numbers 3 and 4. Green flag waves. Makinich up into second, Franz up into third, Powers back to fourth. Everybody makes it through 1 and 2. Your leader, Tanner Mullins, now down off of turn number 4. He'll bring on the front straightaway. Good run between the 3K and the 10. Kurt Coleman and Mark Hurd. Here comes Thompson. Jimmy Hobbs are into turn number 3. Your leader, Mullins, Makinich, and Franz. Off of turn number 4 in the 02. Brian Makinich, Brian Brown, Powers, Hurd, Coleman, Thompson. And we got a situation over here in turn number 2. That's going to involve Kilborn, Jimmy Hobbs. Caution light goes off. Your leader's back on the button one more time. Here we come, green flag. Mullins out of Wichita, down off of turn 4. Makinich, Franz, Hurd. It's still the 0-2, Tanner Mullins. Coleman spins it over here in turn 2. Whoa, everybody clears it up and we're still under green.
Ross Shipman with a lot of damage in the 91. Shipman with a lot of damage.
Caution into the 3K, Kurt Coleman. Kurt Coleman out of Wichita. Wichita. That 3K brings out the latest caution, your NCRA Modifieds. Not real sure how everybody got through that melee over there in turn number 2, but they did. Kirk Coleman, apparently some problems there with the 3K. Caution lights still on, so no start this time as the field makes its way through turn number 3 and 4. 13 laps down there in the books. It's still Tanner Mullins on that 02. Brian McInich, the 52. That's your front row. We go back under green. Brian Franz is the 86. Mark Hurd, the 10. Dan Powers, the 4. There's John Thompson in the 75. Seven laps to go in this one. We'll take the field into 3 and 4. They start to get on the button over there in turn 4. The green flag waves. Everybody's through turn number 1 and 2 once again. Down that long back straightaway. Tanner Mullins, Ryan McInich, Brian Franz, Mark Hurd, Dan Powers. There we come off of 4. To go this time by Mullins, McInich, Franz, Hurd, Powers, Thompson. He pulls it down inside. That's Tyler Davis at number 65. Here comes your leader, Tanner Mullins, off of turn number 4. Out of Wichita in the 02. He'll see a white flag. One more lap to go. It's a half a mile. Mullins down the back straightaway. 57 feet longer in the front side. Tanner Mullins into turn number 4. It's a third-generation Mullins in victory lane at Hutchinson Grand National. Mullins, McInich, Franz, Hurd, Powers, Thompson. Well, it's into the record books now as he makes his way off of turn number 4. A third generation of Mullins into the books over here, Hutchinson Nationals. He'll take the win in the 0-2 out of Wichita, Tanner Mullins. One more to go. 20 times around, the thunder and lightning of the NCRA sprint cars. Whoa, baby. First, before we get that one going, he's making his way back to Scott Stiles down there at our O'Reilly Auto Parts winners area. A third generation driver, and for the third time, the name Mullins enters the record books of the Hutchinson Grand Nationals. Making his way down there, if the girls will get out of the way. Here he is, let's go down to Scott Stiles with Tanner Mullins.
As his crew celebrates with him as he unbuckles, getting high fives from all of his crew members. Pops in victory lane right now, big smile on Tanner Mullins' face. He climbs out of the car, there he is, your national champion of the modified, Tanner Mullins. Let's talk about that run. You've been fast all weekend. You just kind of proved it here tonight.
Yeah, I just watching my dad the whole time and Kirby and them flagging me, and they said just stay on the bottom. That's what I tried to do, but I can't thank my dad and everybody enough for getting the car so close, and J.R. Sandlin for helping us out this year. I really appreciate it.
You come from a racing family, third generation driver. What's this mean to win a national for you and the Mullins family?
It means quite a bit, but I'm not quite to 10 yet, so I'm gonna have to keep working at it. But I'm so excited.
Tell me about the restarts. I know that was very crucial to get that bottom line tonight.
Yeah, he kept trying to jump me there, so I just changed it up every time, trying to get ahead of him. But I don't know, it was good racing.
Congratulations, you are now the champion of the 56th Hutch Nationals.
Thank you very much.
Tanner Mullins, ladies and gentlemen.
By the way, Wichita, Kansas. Mike, you got any idea how many times you've been around this track?
Gosh, no, I don't. I've lost track of how many nationals I've been to, but I've been to a lot of them. I think my first one was in '72, and I might have skipped one here and there, but I've been to most of them since then. It hadn't changed much, same shape, flat, and most of the time one lane dry, but tonight's an exception. We got some mud, and I'm looking forward to it.
I wasn't here last night, but I heard you had a pretty good run.
Yeah, we did. It had rained earlier yesterday afternoon, and it left us a real good track, and I had a good starting spot, and we just took off and no yellows, and it worked out good for us.
Yeah. No sign of wanting to give this up yet. I mean, there's still a thrill, a lot of expectation when you go. You have no desire yet to quit.
I still enjoy it. There's not anything else I'd rather be doing. But when I don't do well, or I think I made a mistake, I think about, well, maybe it's time to hang it up. But I'll recover and come back and do it again.
You know, I think you represent us old guys kind of pretty good out here, and I think we all appreciate what you come out and do, like I say, just to represent all of us, because it shows, hey, you might be old, but, man, you still got the desire, got the skills. Go for it, man.
I feel that way sometimes. I represent the old generation, but I've got some young fans, too, so we just go out and see what we can do, and if we don't have a good night, the next time might be better. Yeah.
One of the guys that's been doing this as long as I can remember, man, run Knoxville. I've seen you with the World of Outlaws. I don't know how many different things I've seen Mike run, but we got to watch out for this guy still here tonight, because I think he's going to be right in the middle of it. Mike, have some fun out there, and we're going to enjoy seeing you, I'm sure.
Well, thank you very much. We will.
Your NCRA sprint cars being pushed off right now onto the speedway. On the pole for your 20-lap feature event, Robert Razor out of Hutchinson, Kansas. Just a few years ago, Shane Howard was driving a stock car for him. They decided they wanted to go sprint car racing. Shane Howard was their driver. Since then, it's been a mix of drivers, but Robert Razor has owned the car. And on the pole from Wichita, the 21 is Mark Robe. Outside of Robe, driving the 24H. From Wichita, Jeremy Campbell. It's the same car that won this event last year with Boston as the pilot. Inside row number 2, driving the 98 from Wichita, another former champion, J.D. Johnson. And outside of him, the 49, the legend out of Wichita, your 2012 305 Hutchinson National Champion, Mr. Mike Peters. Inside row number 3, driving the 1X car out of Charlotte, North Carolina, is Kevin Swindell. He'll sit alongside Taylor Velasquez in the 21X out of Turpin, Oklahoma. In row number 4, driving the 1J car, another two-time former Hutchinson National heading into turn number 1 from Norman, Oklahoma, Danny Jennings, alongside of Jennings in the 48 from Fairview, Oklahoma, Jake Martins. Inside row number 5, from Talala, Oklahoma, the 50Z of Zach Chappell. And from Collinsville, Oklahoma, the 81AU of Gavin Punch. From there, you've got your B main transfers on the tag for 20 times around your NCRA Sprint Car Series. Field starts to assemble, wrapping us up right here, giving the drivers a thumbs up. Let's have a safe race, fellas. From your safety crew right there, the speed specialist guys out of Columbus, Nebraska. We're going to go down trackside for the final time here tonight at this legendary facility, the Scott Style.
Thank you, Warren Hardy. Ladies and gentlemen, on your feet, this grand old half mile is going to crown the last champion of the 56th annual Hutch Grand Nationals. 4 wide, coming off of turn 4, the prettiest sight you ever see. $3,000 on the line. Let's go racing, boys. Here they are.
Just right close to 700 horsepower in each car. Do the math down through the field, and you can feel the rumble. The pace truck will lead the field around one more time to wrap us up. It's a 2012 Ford pickup truck, the 4x4 from Midwest Ford and Toyota, right out here on East 30th in Hutchinson. A big thank you going out to those people helping us out here again at the 56th Annual Hutchinson Nationals. Midwest Ford, Toyota, in Hutchinson here on East 30th. Lights are going out on the pace truck. That means next time by, 20 times around. Thunder and lightning. Mark Robe right there on the pole. Robert Razor owns the car out of Hutchinson. We've documented that. Jeremy Campbell out of Wichita, driving the car that won this event last year out of Nebraska, sitting on the outside of row number 1. Caution lights out. The field's on its own into turn number 3 and 4 for the final time. Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime! Everybody's going to make it through turn numbers 1 and 2. We're now down the back straightaway and into turn number 3. Coming off of 4. Lap 1 goes to Mark Rowe. Look at Luke It's still Rube. Lou Cranston running the top side. The E85, keep it on. Here comes Kevin Swindell off of turn number 4. It's Rube, Swindell, Campbell. E85, Lou Cranston gets a couple more. Year later, Mark Rove down the front straightaway. Kevin Swindell, Campbell, J.D. Johnson. Mark Rove, the 21. Swindell, Campbell, Johnson, Jennings, Peter. Running third, Danny Jennings, Jerry Campbell, Danny Jennings. Kevin Swindell, get a caution flag is out. The front. He started this back in row number 7. He started in 14th place. We're coming off of 4 to go back under green. Preston, he gonna get 2 more. C.J. Johnson in that 45X. Another car out of the B. This time it's Swindell. Kevin Swindell. Here comes Jeremy Campbell around the top side. Campbell into turn number 2. He's gonna lead. You got a new leader once again. Jeremy Campbell out of Wichita on the front side, and then at turn number 1. Swindell second. Jennings. Switson out of Nebraska Campbell into turn number 1. Swindell, Jennings. Through turn numbers 3 and 4, it's Campbell, Swindell, Jennings, Ranston. Swindell crawls out of the number 1. Nowhere to go, right into the back of lap traffic, and he's out of there up in the top of turn number 1. Wow! What a show to wrap one up, and we're not finished. This one isn't over, folks. Jeremy Campbell, Danny Jennings, the E85 of Luke Cranston, C.J. Johnson, Zach Blurton right up there as well, the 2J, Mark Robe, the 21, the field, caution lights off. We'll see how it plays out. Here we come back under green. Moves into second. Jennings is third. He hits the wall. White flag. That's the 91 of Stassa sitting back here on the back straightaway. Oh, baby. Jeff Stassa out of Kingman, Kansas, back here on the back straightaway. Danny Jennings, that number 1, actually hit the wall over there in 3 and 4, kept the car going. As Luke Cranston had got down there by him for that number 2 spot. Campbell looked solid right there in the Gary Swinson car. This, again, the car that won this event. Last year here at the 55th edition, Gary Swinson owns the car. He's out of Nebraska. It was driven by Bishop last year, or Brian Boston, I'm sorry, Jeremy Boston. This year, tonight, by Jeremy Campbell.
One thing about the leader, he gets to set the pace. A lot of times he'll pick up speed off of turn number 3. Next time he has to vary his pace so the second place guy cannot get a jump. You see the cone coming off of turn 4. They cannot pass pass until they clear that cone. So that's the advantage of Campbell. He'll tuck next to that cone to prevent, and then he'll dart back off to the high side. Jennings has no choice but try to dive to the low side and give him the slide job and move back on the front. Here we go. Lights are out, Warren.
Caution lights off. Jeremy Campbell trying to bank $3,000 here at the Hutchinson Nationals. Here we go. Campbell with some real estate to a white flag. A quarter of a mile. Jeremy Campbell, Gary Switson. It's Jeremy Campbell off of 4. He'll take the win. Campbell, Jennings, Preston, Johnson. Whoa.
Get ready for a donut.
Well, right there you have it. I'm telling you what, a way to wrap up a 56th edition of the Hutchinson Nationals. Max Bringle, come on, some final words out of you, partner.
I have absolutely loved it tonight. Thank you so much for inviting me here. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed your professionalism, the things you guys do here. It's over the top. It's so much different than it was in the 70s. I'm glad we were able to pioneer it for you. But I got to say one thing, and I think the audience would agree with me. You got rid of the trophy girls and replaced them with Scott Stiles. I'm not going to buy that. But thank you again for inviting me.
Maybe we'll put you in charge of that next year. Max Bringle, he's got Scott Stiles right there down on the front straightaway. And Scott Stiles has got Jeremy Campbell. Gary Switson owns the car rolling up there. Final time down trackside, Scotty.
It's a big hug from his wife, Katie. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Campbell, your champion. Jeremy Campbell getting hugs from friends and crew members. It's a big hug from Gary Swinson. They're coming down here as well. First time in this car. And you put her in victory lane.
Oh man, that was an awesome ride. Gary called me up like Monday of this week and asked me if I wanted to drive his car because we were just planning on running our car for the whole tour. And last time I jumped in his car for the first time, we went over in Donovan, so I was like, sure, why not? Let's do this. And he said he just got a fresh motor and everything and new car, and this thing works great, man.
Let's talk about. Everybody was going to the low side early, and then everybody saw the high side. Luke Cranston kind of showed the way early, and then all of a sudden everybody jumped to the high side, and then the battle with you and Swindell in lap traffic.
Yeah, I know. I was running the bottom. I just couldn't get no grip on the bottom. I wasn't fast on the bottom at all, and that's not really like where I like to run. But I wasn't going nowhere, and I had to try something. And seen some guy down there, one of my buddies, saying, "Go to the top, try it." So I did, and it held, and it stuck. And after that, it just kept going, and I was just rolling.
Talk about, Swindell tried to dive there with about 2 or 3 to go. Did you see him coming on the low side, trying to slide you?
I seen him coming in one, peek under a couple of times, but I knew there was lap traffic there, so I knew if I got out beside the lap traffic car, maybe that'd block him, and sure enough, it worked in my favor.
What's this mean to you, this win, and also where's this rank with all your wins?
Oh, this is one of my top wins. I'm not from Kansas, but everybody out here says this is one of the biggest deal, and I can see why. We had a hell of a time last night, and for sure tonight's going to be a lot better.
I got something to tell you. You just won $3,000 and a big stinking trophy.
Hell yeah, man! It just means a lot to me.
It's time to party.
I gotta thank Gary Swenson. You know, if it wasn't for him calling me and letting me drive this awesome ride, we wouldn't have done it. So,
Gary, 2 in a row. What do you think of this guy?
He did just what he was supposed to do, and he knew how to do it. We talked about it earlier and what he had to do, and he just went out and then he did it.
Congratulations on 2 in a row for you.
Thank you.
Warren, that's it. Wraps it up down here. Happy Jeremy Campbell.
All right, Scotty, good job down there. Congratulations, Gary Swenson, who owns the car out of Nebraska. 2 in a row for that guy as a car owner, and Jeremy Campbell out of Wichita, your 56th edition Hutchinson Grand National Champion in the NCRA Sprint Cars. A big thank you to all of you up there inside the U.S. Cellular Grandstand for helping us out and being part of this Saturday night. We look forward to the 57th when it comes back around in this Midsummer Classic next year here on this famed half-mile oval of the Kansas State Fairgrounds. For Speedways Incorporated, General Manager and Promoter C. Ray Hall, everybody that was responsible for the last happening of what we saw over Friday night and Saturday night, good night, everybody. It's cocktail hour.